Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Fatty's Barbecue. I'm Eric Cantu and thank y'all so much for joining in. Yep, it's nighttime out here. You know what's crazy is we just finished seasoning this thing. We just finished making the video for seasoning this smoker, and we had so much fuel left that we're like, let's just go ahead and cook the brisket. You know what I mean? So in this video, we're cooking up a prime brisket on our insulated vertical smoker from Lone Star Grills. Let's get going. All right guys, so you know what's up is we had so much time left, so much fuel left, that we're just gonna go ahead and cook a prime brisket tonight, okay? So, I've got some water. We're gonna have to do it a few times, but I'm just gonna pour this water down right here. And we're gonna just pour down there, and it should maintain the temp a little bit better. There we go. Gonna get some more water. Ooh, you can hear it. We're gonna make sure that this thing stays around 225 degrees. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is end up seasoning this guy up. You know, we're gonna season this brisket right here. This is a about 16.27 pound brisket, okay? Prime brisket, and really I'm not gonna have to trim that much off of it. I'm just gonna get it, season it up, put it right on the smoker, and we're gonna let this thing go all night. All right guys, so let me show you what we got going on and why we went ahead and decided to cook on this thing tonight. So if we open this up here, I'm gonna use this other camera real quick so we can see in here. I don't know if you can see in there, but I went ahead and put water in here, okay? So we've got the water all in there. Now granted, it's a little bit of an angle, so that's why, you know, I didn't fill it up completely. It's lower in the back than it is in the front, but that's more than enough water, I'm pretty sure. And you can see how everything else looks in here. So let's get this part closed up. Okay, we put the water in there. All right, let's close this up. Okay, and this right here is the reason why we went ahead and decided to keep going. Ooh, look at all that smoke. That's looking good. So real quick, I'm gonna show you a sneak peek in here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I put some wood in there, and this thing is barely at the back. So I've got some post oak wood laying in there. Now, unfortunately, those were my smallest pieces of post oak wood, okay? Now, unfortunately, those were my smallest pieces of post oak wood that I had saved up. I wasn't expecting to cook tonight. I was gonna go get some wood chunks in the morning of the post oak, but man, there was so much fuel left. We just said, let's cook. So I grabbed the smallest logs that I could get, and they're pretty small. You can see them in that video. And I laid them down over the charcoal, and we're gonna see how long this stuff lasts. And if I have to reload, I'll reload, but I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna last for quite some time. Right now, we got the water in here, we got the fuel set. Now, all I'm doing, waiting for this thing to get back to temp because I had it open. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and trim up the brisket. It's a prime brisket, so there's not much I'm gonna have to trim on this thing. All right guys, so I got a really nice prime brisket here that we got from HEB. Nice thick flat. I love when these are thicker because they don't burn as easily. And a nice point. I really doubt that I'm gonna have to cut a lot off of this or trim that much fat off of it because it looks like a really, really nice brisket. Again, prime brisket. This is going to be about a 16 pounder, 16.27. So 16 pound brisket, and we're gonna see how this thing works. So let's go ahead and get this thing seasoned up. Yeah, this is a really nice looking brisket, guys. There's really not going to be too much other than maybe right here that I'm gonna have to cut off. Right up in here. So let's just start trimming it up. What do you say? So I'm just trying to take off some of that blood just so it doesn't slip completely out of my hand. Oh man. There we go. Alrighty. So this isn't competition style, this is just for backyard style, so let's just start cutting into it. Just gonna cut off all this fat. That's a big thing of fat right there that will not render. So cut it out. Right there. And be careful with these knives, guys. They're super sharp. It's a big chunk of fat right up in there. See, that's still hard right there. You see that? It's still pretty hard. So I'm gonna go lower on that guy. Get more of that fat out. Because this fat will not render correctly and pretty much just ruin everything. So still cutting this guy. There was a lot of fat here. Big chunk that we need to make sure we got off. So I was definitely lying when I said this thing won't have to be trimmed much. It's a big old chunk of fat right here. I will.
Oh.
Look at that. That's about a pound right there. All right. Definitely a fatty brisket, fatty prime brisket. This is just a huge thing of fat. So I mean, if you look at this here, you see that? This was all fat on this side. All this solid piece right here was right there. Okay, so that's a lot of fat, very little meat. And there's still more, it's pretty hard. So I'm gonna have to cut in a little bit more and try my best to cut out as much fat as I can, but still keep the meat. And this knife is getting dull. All right, guys, I just finished trimming up that brisket right there, and I made the mistake of commenting saying that it's a prime brisket and it's probably not gonna have to trim that much off. Take a look at this. This is all fat right here that I had to take off of this. This was a 16-pound brisket, okay? We probably got like 3 or 4 pounds worth of fat, okay? And we're talking a thick. Now I've got a little bit of meat off of there, but it's really just mostly that fat right there. Fat. So anyway, this is our finished product right now. It doesn't have to look pretty or anything like that, you know? So this is it right here. I'm gonna get this guy seasoned up. All right, and for seasoning, I always use the Boulder's brisket rub. I just like it, has a little bit of a sweeter taste. So we're gonna slap that on there, put some rub on there, and then we're gonna stick it in the pit, okay? And here we go. I love this stuff. Sorry if it gets in your face, Scarlett. The wind's blowing, but we try to get every inch we can, right? You see that? Oh yeah, it smells awesome. That's why I love this stuff, man. Okay, let's rotate it so the camera can see a little bit better. Right here. Now this is gonna be a little still hard fat right here, so this part might not cook that well. I just didn't want to take too much off. Like I said, you try to get all the areas, but the thing about this, you don't put too much because it can get salty. Oops, like right there, it'll probably be salty. Okay, It looks good. Now, let's get this side over here, right here. So this was actually all the way out here, full of fat. So I'm just leaving a little bit on there, and we'll see how this, if this renders down pretty well or not. Boom. Just like that. This is our brisket. This is what we're going to use. All right, guys. And that's it. So now we're going to get this pit, make sure it's at 225. We're going to stick this guy on there, let it cook all night, and see what happens in the morning. We'll get back to you when this thing's ready to take a look at. All right, guys. So if you take a look right here, our temp is at 221. That's close enough for me. I want to be at 225. I'm going to go ahead and put that brisket in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, let's go ahead and open this up right here. Okay. It's time to put the brisket, fat side up. We're going to put him right here in the middle. About right there, guys. Okay. I've got it fat side up. And then I'm going to get my probe here. And this probe we're going to put about right here in the thick part. So it's kind of in the flat and the point. I can feel it in there pretty solid. Can you see that? Okay. So let me get my glove. Put this guy back in. Okay. Take off my glove. All right, guys. That's it. Brisket's in there. All right, so the brisket seasoned, it's in there. We got the probes in. Now it's like, I don't know what to do with myself, because with the stick burner, I would always be sitting right next to the fire, making sure my one log was preheating and then the other fire was going, and it was at 225, and every 45 minutes I was putting on a log, you know? So with this one, it's gonna be a lot different, because I can't look at it. I just close it, set it, forget it, believe in it. And I honestly believe that this thing's gonna work really well. So we're just gonna wait. We'll come back when this thing is ready, right? Maybe I'll come back when it's on the stall, but really there's nothing I can do. I can't open it up, can't do any of that. I'm just gonna leave it alone. We're gonna cook this guy, and we're gonna see when it's ready to go. Maybe when it hits the stall or something, maybe I'll wrap it later. I'm not sure, but I kind of just wanna leave it unwrapped the whole way through and see how that works. All right, guys, so now we're inside. The brisket is done. I already pulled it off. I know you guys are like, wait a minute, what happened? How come we didn't show pulling off the brisket? Well, unfortunately, last night it was raining and it was dark. So I couldn't, when I took my camera out there to try and film, it was just black. It was all black. And I couldn't put my light out there because it was raining, and it would have, you know, obviously popped the light. So I was just like, I didn't know what to do. So what I did was I went ahead and took a few pictures. I kind of cheated, and I opened it up and I took some pictures as I was doing it with my camera phone, because that would give me a flash. And other than that, I had no light to use to actually see inside. So I'm super sorry, guys, that I didn't get the footage of me, you know, pulling it out, moment of truth. But just to kind of tell you guys how it went, obviously it went fine. It was almost weird because I stayed up watching movies just because I'm so used to, when I'm doing a brisket overnight, staying up, watching a movie so I can go check on, you know, the fires all the time. Well, I was sitting there watching the movie, and I just look at my phone on the fireboard, and it just stayed pretty good temp. Like I said, I was trying to cook around 225 degrees, and I think it was like at 235, and I think at one point it went up to like 245, somewhere around there. But for the most part, it was right there. Like it didn't go crazy or anything like that. So that thing held temp really well. I'm very impressed with the insulated vertical smoker. So I'm pretty excited about when I do these larger cooks that it's just gonna hold temp like a champ, okay? Now, as far as the fuel goes, we made that S pattern, and man, that thing, it's still burning right now, most likely. But that thing kept going all the way through. The thing that did surprise me was how fast the brisket cooked, right? Because I'm used to doing briskets for 20 hours, and I put the brisket on at 10 p.m. and it came off about 6:30 in the morning, maybe 6 in the morning. It was still dark, so yeah, about 6 in the morning. And I was just like, that's insane. Like how did it cook that fast? I have no clue, but briskets are done when they're done. Maybe it was because I pulled all that fat off of it or something. I'm not too sure. But anyway, guys, I was super impressed with how it cooked. The probe was going in like butter, so, and it was reading 195, and some spots were at 203, you know, so I know that thing was done. The thing that might have me a little concerned was on the flat, on the thicker part of the flat, a couple of those spots were reading like in the 186s, so hopefully those aren't too underdone. But I didn't want to keep going because that point was at 203, 205, 206, and it was really jiggly and like butter, so didn't want to mess that up. But anyway, guys, sorry I didn't get that footage, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to be cutting into this brisket, and I'm going to show you that for sure, and we're going to see how it came out. Y'all ready? Let's go. It smells really good. Right, Scarlett? Now, this thing's been resting for a few hours already. Never mind my clock on my stove. I didn't fix it, so it's wrong. Oh, there we go, guys. That looks pretty good. Looks yummy. Smell that, Scarlett? All right, here we go. See that? Looks really, really jiggly, guys. It's not, doesn't feel hard at all. That's something different, right? Like, that's kind of cool for a vertical smoker. It looks pretty much like it would coming out of my stick burner. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Gonna go right down the middle. There we go. There we go. Woo-wee. Yeah. Look at that, Scarlett. So let's pick this up right here. Take a look at that. So let's tap it. Okay, it's not smashing in, so I don't think it's overdone. Oh, there goes my video. A little bit of squeeze, you can see the juice coming out. Right? That looks really, really good. So now we're gonna find out. Let's see how it cooked, right? We're gonna find out. You know, I'm gonna cut this off too. Here, this little portion right here. This is the moist right here. I'm gonna put that off to the side because I do like me some moist brisket. Okay, gonna move that over. Do this guy right here. I'll put it here for looks, just so that way it looks nice. Here we go, right here. Okay, so here we go. So it is holding under its own weight, right? This is obviously some of the point here, so it's going to kind of tear a little bit differently. Like this is going with the grain, that's against the grain. So let's see this pull test. Let's see if it comes apart pretty easy. You can see it. Look at that, it came apart really easy. Obviously that part I didn't pull yet because it's stringy, but it still came apart really, really easy. Okay, look at that one more time. Can you see that, Scarlett? Watch, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of tug. Bloop. There you go. As far as the smoke ring goes, it's got a little smoke ring on there. This one's got a little bit more right here. All right, so let's go ahead and try it out. All right, moment of truth. The first brisket on the insulated smoker. Let's go. Now, guys, I don't know if it's because I'm just hungry or it's because I've been up all night or what, but this is hitting the spot, guys. This is really good. It is like tender. Oh my goodness, Scarlett, you're gonna have to try this out. Scarlett's behind the camera. Hey, pay attention, girl. Scarlett's so excited, she's messing up the camera here. Look. Look at this pull. All right, Scarlett. Test that out. Tell me what you think. Say, you can talk. She's just going like this. She's afraid. Let me cut. This part is the moist part. We're gonna try this part out now. Oh my God. I know it sounds gross, guys. I cannot complain. Like, this is a genuine look of surprise right here. Because this is tasting just like my stick burner. And it's super tender, guys. Look at this. Look at that. Juicy. I mean, that is juicy right there, guys. And it cooked super fast. That was amazing. I'm just like, this video is going to be all messed up because it's just me kind of being surprised. And you know how sometimes you'll watch videos and everybody goes, they bite at the end of whatever they're cooking. That's not what this is. This is a genuine, oh my God, I like this. I hope you guys, I'm going to cut another piece. I'm going to go ahead and separate this, guys. This is the moist part. And you just kind of follow along, okay? So I'm gonna put the moist this way and we're gonna cut this way on it. Wow. One piece. Two piece. This bark is nice too, guys. This is not overdone at all, you know. Look at that. See that? You usually do it like this, right? You see that? See that, Scarlett? Right? Holding under its own weight. This guy is holding under its own weight, and this is the moist part. Super, super, super soft, guys. Give it the pull test, which we already know it's going to come apart. Look at that. This is just super moist brisket. Let's try this out. Ready? Oh my God. I'm sorry you guys don't get to have some of this right now, guys. You would absolutely love it. Scarlett, you want to try some of this one? The moist brisket? Ready? Pull that apart. There you go, baby. What do you think? It's good, right? Guys, I am super, super impressed with this. I'm going to go ahead and put this back. I know it looks like a mess right now. But look, that right there, that's the moist part of the brisket. Look at that bark. That came out really good. It is not burnt at all. It's like a mahogany color. Get closer, Scarlett. That's like a mahogany color right there, okay? It's not black. It's not charred. That is a very nice bark, and look how juicy that is, guys. That is just amazing how well this smoker cooked. And I'll cook, let me slice a couple of, I'm gonna go ahead and slice a couple of the lean portions again. Here's some lean right here. And here's this part of the moist. Let's turn this guy around here. Now obviously I took off the bark on this guy. This is the part that was probing like at 185 still. Everything else was like at 195, 196, you know, 190. But and then some of this part was at 203 on the big part. On the point was at 203, but this part was like at 180 something. So we're gonna cut through this and see how the lean portion is. We're gonna cut a few slices of this and see how it looks. There we go. Okay, guys. Right, so I don't have as big of a smoke ring on these on the lean portion. You can still see it though, don't get me wrong. You can still see it. It's not as defined as the other one, you know. And then here, look, it's definitely holding under its own weight like it's supposed to. You can see that it's definitely soft and pliable. Here we go. Perfect, guys. That is a perfectly cooked brisket. Let's try the lean portion out. Very good. Here's Scarlett. She gets the pros she gets the benefits of being the camera person. Yep. Very good, right? So here, guys, let's take a look at this. This is your lean. Get closer, baby. This is your lean brisket right here. Okay. So definitely juicy, not overdone, right? Doesn't have the huge smoke ring yet, but maybe, you know, that's something I can work on later on with my wood. Maybe I put a little more wood in there. Who knows? But overall, that is very, very impressive. You know, like that's just a tiny smoke ring. Now the other part is up here. You got a little smoke ring right there, okay? Look at that. I mean, that is just a beautiful piece of brisket. You know, like I said, the only thing missing is that really, really dark pink smoke ring. And I don't even know if that adds flavor, but This thing is just wonderful. Oh man. It's gonna take me a little while here just to really enjoy this. Guys, I'm sorry about that. Just amazing. I mean, this was just such a successful cook, guys. My first brisket is a prime brisket on the insulated vertical smoker. Came out flawlessly, guys. I don't know what else to say about this. You saw how nice the brisket came out. The only negative, if there was a negative, was that I don't have that thick smoke ring on there, right? But as far as the taste goes, I taste the post oak, and that's just amazing to me because I didn't use that much oak. You know, I used a few logs throughout, or, you know, pieces about that big throughout the burn, and I still have the smoke flavor. It does not taste like charcoal. There is no charcoal flavor in this at all. It is definitely post oak, and that is just amazing. How it's done, I have no clue, but Chris at Lone Star Grillz, you guys designed this, and that's amazing. I'm very, very impressed with that. So guys, thank y'all so much. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the way this brisket came out. Guys, thank you for staying up with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all of your support. Keep liking, subscribing. Guys, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Fatty's BBQ. We're gonna see you on the next episode. Thank you very much.